Hi, and welcome to Simply Learn Stuff. In this video, we will be taking a closer look at the basic count function, as well as more advanced count functions such as the COUNTIF and COUNTIFs. In this example, we have several different types of transactions per department, and we would like to get different counts for the amounts of the debits, the credits, as well as per department. The first count function will be your most basic, which is simply the word count after the equal sign. Take note that this basic count function counts the number of cells in a range that contains a number. That means we can even include the header of this column, and it will give us the correct information, which is the amount of 109 transactions. The second count function is count A. Count A counts the number of cells in a range that is not empty. This one can be used if you want to count cells or include cells that contains text. To be able to use this, we can also use the transaction type column. However, do take note if we include the header of this column, that it will then include that header in the count type and give us a value of 110 instead of 109. If we start the function from cell 2, it will then give us the correct count as that excludes the header. The next count function we want to look at is the count blank. So this will count all the numbers of blanks that is within the range of cells. For example, we can select the column C that has all the transactions in it, and you will notice it gives us a 0. If we blank out one of the cells, it will then start counting the blanks. This is a nice way to check if your data does contain blanks. Do take note that it does count a blank even if the cell itself is formatted as text. Next, we want to be able to count specific information. For example, the number of debits. In this case, we will use the COUNTIF function. The COUNTIF function counts the specific criteria given within that range. For the COUNTIF, the first portion is to select the range. In this case, we will select the transaction type column. The next portion of the function is to give the criteria. In this case, we want to count the number of debits. Therefore, we will type the word debits within quotation marks. That will give us a total number of 48 debits. We can also do this the same for our credits by simply copying the function downwards and then adjusting the range and then changing the word to credit instead of debit. Do take note that we have to enter whatever criteria that is given as text within the quotation marks for the function to accept it. The last count function that we will be looking at will be the COUNTIFs function. In this case, we would like to know the number of debits within each department, as well as credits within each department. We will start the function by selecting the COUNTIFs function, and you will notice that the first option that is required is a criteria range. In this section, we will then again choose the transaction type. The second portion of the function would be to give the criteria, and we will enter debit. And then it also allows a second criteria range. In this instance, we will then select the department. And then for the actual criteria, we can then type in the department name, or because this cell already contains the word finance, with the spelling being exactly the same, we can simply select this cell as our reference. We will then select this cell and spill it downwards or fill it downwards to be able to continuously choose the next cell within the function. However, if we do that, it will, as when we copied the debits down to the credits, it will then change the range of the selected columns. Therefore, we first need to select all of our ranges, and we are using the F4 key to be able to lock the cell ranges. We will not be locking the cell that has the word finance in it, as we do want that to change. It's giving us an answer of 15, and we simply fill it downwards, and it gives us a total of 48, which matches the number of total debits. We can simply copy this cell downwards. You will notice that it does change the cell to F10, which is this new cell that also contains the word finance. But because the cell references are locked, it will not change the column references. We can simply here update the word debit to credit. Fill that downwards as well, which gives us a total of 61 credits, which matches the total number of credits in our previous count formula. Take special note that when I created the formula for debits, the D in debit is not capitalized. However, when I created the function for credits, the C for credit was capitalized. That indicates that the count function does not need to be case sensitive, and it will act as if all of the text within the cell is not case sensitive, meaning it can be upper or lower case. However, the spelling has to be correct, as well as even if there is a space after the word debit, it will exclude that from the function. So although it's not case sensitive, it does mean it has to be character specific. I trust you enjoy this video, and remember to like and subscribe.